that there's a crew in town. The head hillbillies are making their rounds. Small town whispers loud and clear. The sheriff shot the judge in his chambers chair.
Sheriff got a secret he won't keep. Judge shot dead in his disbelief. A lot of people have some stories to tell. Dark pass away, get the sound of a shotgun shell.
All the secrets spill on down. Voices loud in this old town. From the courthouse to the ground. Rumors fly and they can't be bound.
Neighbors hide behind their blinds. Whisper tales of troubled minds. Skeletons covering the mountainside. A treacherous reality in the pines.
Winter reveals the hidden lies. Moonlight couldn't mask their cries. Shadows caught in sunlit skies. There's no cover, no disguise. All the secrets spill on down. Voices loud in this old town. From the courthouse to the ground. Rumors fly and they can't be
Winter reveals the hidden lie. Moonlight could mask their cries. Shadows caught in sunlit skies. There's no cover, no disguise.
all the secrets spill on down. Voices loud in this old town. From the courthouse to the ground. Rumors fly and they can't be bound.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Elizabeth. I'm your host for Hillbilly Crime. Now, tonight is one of our most important shows yet. This is exactly why we have this platform. We're going to focus on the tragic June 18th, 2023 unaliving of Amber Spradlin. She was a 38-year-old woman from Prestonsburg, Kentucky. She was found in the home of prominent dentist Michael McKinney. Now, his son, Michael M.K. McKinney III, is charged with her red rum and evidence tampering. The dentist and friend Josh Mullins face complicity charges for tampering. Now, we have got our guest with us tonight, so let me invite in Miss Debbie Hall. Thank you for coming and being with us.
Nice to be here and get to talk to you.
Yes, thank you. So, Miss Debbie, tell us a little bit about Amber. Like, what kind of person was she?
Amber was somebody who really, she tried hard all the time. She wanted to help out and wanted to be liked and wanted to be included. And she struggled a little bit, had a difficult time early on making friends and fitting in, and a lot of tragedy in her life. Her mother died whenever she was really young, and she lost a sister at a young age, and she lost her father, and she ended up being adopted by her grandparents. But she took care of them, and she always worked hard just to try to to get along with people and be good to people and make people feel welcome.
Yeah.
She was
That's
just a
one of
kind soul.
that's one of the things that I've found a lot that happens a lot in our area, are a lot of kids get raised by their grandparents in this area. And I think it ends up causing, was it just, can you tell us why she was raised by her grandparents?
Well, her mother passed away, and then there were some allegations of abuse, physical abuse from her father, and it was just best in everyone's best interest for her to live with her grandparents.
Did that cause problems with like any kind of emotional problems as she grew up into an adult?
Yeah, I think it did. She had difficulty understanding some things because her dad remarried, and she had stepsisters, and her dad was spending time with her stepsisters and not with her. So I think as a child that was difficult for her to deal with and to understand. And at that time too, it wasn't so commonplace for grandparents to be raising their grandchildren at that time. And so I think that was difficult too. Amber being at school functions with her grandparents and everyone else there with their parents.
Mhm. Did she work at the for Mr. McKinney?
She was the hostess at the Brick House restaurant, which he is part owner of. And she started there, I believe it was May the 18th. I think it was a complete month before this incident.
So did she know that family for longer than that month?
No, not really. She and I used to go to the Brick House every now and then and have dinner and listen to music. And so, we knew who he was. And the co-owner, his ex-wife, LaDonna, she was always there. And we knew her, but we weren't, I wouldn't even call us acquaintances. I didn't know anything about them or anything about their life or anything.
Yeah. So she had only been working there about a month before this happened.
Yes.
I kind of relate to what you were saying about what she went through with her dad. That was kind of what I went through too. And I really struggled emotionally with things like acceptance, finding friends, feeling like I belonged with people. So it kind of led me down, hanging out with the wrong crowd.
Right.
So, is there anything that you can tell us? I know that, let's see, with the legal and the procedural stuff, MK's bond was set at $5 million, and then his father's was at $250,000. Both pled not guilty. It said that evidence delays were due to forensic lab backlogs, and let's see, and one suspect, Mullins, was released on monitored home incarceration and allowed limited college attendance. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, well, Dr. McKinney and Josh Mullins are both on a controlled monitored release, so they have ankle monitors on, and they are allowed around pretty much anywhere in town from the hours of about 9 o'clock in the morning until they have to be home at 6:30 in the evening, and they're not supposed to be anywhere else other than those places at home or in town. He's allowed to do things related to his office. So if he has to go to the bank or go to Walmart to buy supplies or anything like that. And then, of course, they're allowed to stop to pick up, if they have to have gasoline and they're allowed trips to the grocery, but I think they have to make special arrangements for that.
Oh, okay. Well, here in Letcher County, kind of covering the cases that we've covered, we've really seen how lax and pretty much the loopholes for the house arrest system
Yeah.
here. How is it in Floyd County?
Well, I am told that they are monitoring that he is at home every evening at 6:30, and that he is undergoing alcohol and drug testing. That's what I have been told. Um, so, I know that they're out wandering around town in those other hours, and I don't want to run into him anywhere. I don't want to see him anywhere. And there's some witnesses in the case that I'm sure that they wouldn't want to run into them anywhere either. So it's I'm not real pleased with it, but I just have to abide by it.
Yeah, yeah. I was watching an interview that you gave to one of the news networks, and you said how pleased you were with the state police and the detectives and stuff, the investigation. Are
Mhm.
you still happy with everything that the police have done?
Yes, I think that they have done a very good job collecting the evidence and putting the case together. And Detective Wireman, Justin Wireman, has been our detective, and he has really given it his all. It has consumed him. So I'm very pleased with, and they have also kept us in the loop, and helped us to understand why it was taking so long and where the case was going. So that really helped a lot to not be left in the dark.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of families express frustration about that. So that's really nice that they've done that. It's kind of refreshing to hear you say how good of a job that they've done on this case, because we don't hear that a lot on other cases.
Right, right. And
Floyd County, people that don't live in Appalachia are not really familiar with the kind of corruption that goes on in our area of Kentucky. Were you surprised during this case? Were you surprised to find out as much as what you found out?
uh, no, not really. But the fact that it was as blatant as it was to me was very shocking. But I've lived here my entire life, grown up here, except whenever I was away for school. And I've always known that there was a lot of corruption, and it mattered who you were and how much money you had.
Now, you're a doctor. What kind of a doctor are you, Miss Debbie?
Family practice.
Family practice. So
Mhm.
you take care of people's like I have a family doctor that me and my kids go to, and she is just the best home. Like, she still does home visits for her elderly patients and stuff. And a lot of people who don't, that's another thing. A lot of people who don't live in Appalachia have never really experienced the kind of hometown family doctors that we have here.
Right.
Thank you for all that you do, Miss Debbie.
Oh, I'm happy to have the opportunity.
How do you like being a family physician in
Uh,
Eastern Kentucky?
I do. It has been a very good career and a very fulfilling life, and I feel like I get to do a lot of good. So yeah, I'm blessed.
Amen. Highly favored,
Mhm.
blessed and highly favored. Now, you said that the pain hasn't lessened. What drives you every day to keep pushing for justice for Amber?
I don't want anyone to forget about this yet. I don't want anybody to think that we're going away or have run their course. I'm going to stick right out here and keep on going until we finally get some resolution in this case. She was very important to me, and I'm not about to just let it go.
Yeah. Well, God bless you. I took a little piece of video here off of one of the news. Let's see, I gotta bring Amber down. Let me see if I can pull it up here. That's him. That's the daddy there, and the one that was in front of him was the family friend.
Yes.
And were you surprised? How long did it take for them to arrest them all? I wasn't as familiar with the beginning of this case. Can you kind of give us a little summary of how it all went?
Yeah, it was 408 days for the arrest. So the murder was on June the 18th of 2023, and they didn't even call it that. They just said she was found dead in Arkansas Creek, which made it sound like she was just laying out by a creek somewhere. Um, so it took several days before they finally said that it was suspicious, and then several more days before they finally said that foul play was suspected in it. So as soon as the police got there to start the investigation, most of the people there just clammed up and wouldn't talk. They wanted to have an attorney present, and they wouldn't talk. So nobody was arrested or taken in for any questioning immediately. And the investigation just got underway, and it took 408 days for the arrests. And the main reason for that was the backlog at the crime lab. They don't have enough people to work there. They can't get people to stay there and work because the pay is so much lower there. The surrounding states, people can make about $20,000 more a year than they can here in Kentucky. So there's a large backlog, and that's what kept taking so long. And they are still processing evidence from the crime to this day. It's not all processed yet.
The way that I kind of was understanding it, the son is allegedly the one who committed the crime, and then his dad and the friend just helped him cover it up. Is that right?
Yes.
And there's evidence that's missing, like the whatever they used. She was cut, wasn't she?
Yes. Stabbed in the head and the face and the neck and the torso. At first we were told it was like 11 times, but now I think it was more than 14 times.
Did anybody ever say why it took them so long to declare it a suspicious death?
No, nothing was said.
Do you have any, I mean, Monday morning quarterbacking is always kind of easy, but do you feel like if it wasn't for you getting out there and raising as much cane and attention as what you did, that we might not have seen an arrest?
I sure hate to think that that's the case, but I believe we wouldn't have gotten as much attention as quickly as we did had there not been a strong following.
Wow. And now you've been there all your life. Have you heard any rumors of what kind of political friends he may have had?
Oh,
Dennis,
yes.
Daddy?
Yes.
He had a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, I also saw a news clipping where you kind of had it out with the judge executive over there.
Yes.
Tell me what happened.
He illegally obtained a phone call from the jail, and he was trying to say that I was trying to arrange a murder for hire. There was a person that phoned me from the jail asking me to loan him money to get out on, and I just jokingly said, just stay where you're at because MK will be there soon. And that was all that was said. And I got off the phone. We never spoke anymore. I didn't send any money or try to arrange a murder or anything. But The county judge executive, he thought that he could cause me some trouble. So he started going around to the city police and a few other places and trying to get something going, and it spreads things on me and make me look bad in the community. And yeah.
Did it backfire on him?
I think it did. I think it did. I caught wind of it, and yeah, and I was told also that he actually even gave a copy of the phone call to some of the McKinney supporters.
Unbelievable. It doesn't surprise me though, because
Yeah.
we see how far they're willing to go to back their friends, you know, in
Yes.
this area. But
Well,
good for you. Good for you. I love seeing you get up there at the podium and give them a piece of your mind.
well,
So,
I've worked hard and I try to be good to everybody and I try to be a good person. And for him to try to insinuate that I would do something like that just really upset me. And it's all because of my role that I've had in bringing Amber's case to the forefront, is all of what it's about.
mhm. I was looking through the comments on some of it, and you've got a ton of support. A ton of support.
Uh-huh. Yeah, people have been very kind to me and very, very helpful. I'm appreciative. I'm so thankful.
Um, what do they think was the reason that Amber went back to their house with them that night? Have they
Uh,
said?
they were all there together at Seasons, and Roy was talking with MK. Roy and MK are second cousins, and Roy hadn't seen MK in over 10 years. And so, and when MK was a child, Roy's parents used to babysit him. So they were just catching up on old times. And whenever it was time for the bar to close, they didn't want to stop talking. They wanted to continue their conversation. So they all just got into the vehicle with Dr. McKinney, and Dr. McKinney drove all of them up to his house.
Wow. Did they leave? Was McKinney there when this happened?
Uh,
Dr. McKinney?
yeah, as far as I know, Dr. McKinney, his son MK, their friend Josh, Josh's girlfriend, Roy Kidd, and Amber were the only ones that were there. They When they left Seasons, they all went up to Mike McKinney's house, and that's who was there for the duration uh, until everything happened.
Now, I heard something about a 911 call earlier that night that nobody ever responded to. Can you tell us anything about that?
Yeah. MK McKinney placed the 911 call, and it was about 5:30 in the morning. And he said that there was someone there that was out of hand and they couldn't do anything with him. And he was drunk and fallen down and had cut himself and was bleeding profusely. And would they just come and take him, get him out of there, take him away? And there was some confusion between the dispatcher and MK. The dispatcher said, we can't take somebody out of their own home. And so he wasn't understanding who MK was talking about. And Dr. McKinney then got on the phone and said, it's Dr. McKinney here. There's nothing life threatening. We don't need any help. I'll call you back if we do. And so they got off the phone. So at that time, MK was talking about Roy being drunk and staggering and falling, and Roy had cut his chin and it bled all over his shirt and the downstairs where they were. So that's what they were talking about. It wasn't Amber. Amber wasn't calling. Nobody that we know of was doing anything to Amber at that time. But then no one ever called. They didn't even call back. I would have thought at least a welfare check. I mean, it would have been about a 15-minute drive for them to go just, knock on the door and say, hey, everybody all right in here? Is everything okay? But
Yeah, because and at least the police's presence you never know what that would have caused. And if they would have been able to have taken Roy and her out of there, then that, we wouldn't be where we're at today for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. How has the DNA evidence and missing items like the knife handle and the cameras shaped your view of the case?
Well, I mean, to me, it's just as plain as day what has gone on there. For those things to be missing, there was a hard drive missing out of a laptop computer, cameras, and some type of a receiver and a DVR. All of that stuff was missing, and plus the clothing that MK had on that night was never able to be produced, and then the knife handle was missing also. So it's just
Cover up.
yeah.
How did removing the 911 dispatch center from KSP Post 9 impact the case?
Well, the move was made in February of 2023, and that took the 911 call center from the state police to our city government, to the city of Prestonsburg. So at that point, the Kentucky State Police didn't have the main responsibility for responding to things here, the calls. It's very confusing. What I'm told is that Prestonsburg is just a call center, that they don't have to provide coverage, that they're just a call center. However, the state police told us that, they said they didn't want our services, so we're not there. The city police said they didn't respond to anything out in the county. The sheriff office didn't have funding to be on duty at night. So it was just a really big mess. And I think that had it still been with KSP, I don't think we would be here talking about this.
Have they gotten it fixed yet, or is it still kind of up in the air with their 911 system?
Oh, it's in the city's hands. The city has the 911 system here. I hear all different reviews on it. Some people think it works better. Some people think it doesn't.
It's
But
just one of those political things.
yeah.
Yeah, here in Jenkins, I live in Jenkins, and we didn't even have a police officer here. We had one police officer, and when he went on vacation for 3 weeks, we didn't even have a police officer here.
Mhm.
If you did have to call for one, you had to call 911 for the state police, and sometimes it was 3 or 4 hours before one would respond, if they responded at all.
Mhm.
So that's part of kind of what we struggle with in this area in general with 911 and first responders. When situations like this happen, this is the exact kind of situation that it affects, So tell us about the Justice for Amber community, the billboards and rallies. You guys have got like 25,000 Facebook members. What kind of impact has it made?
Well, last summer I was contacted by Dateline NBC, and they said they had never received so many requests from people all over the United States wanting them to cover a story. So it's got us out there into the national news, and I feel like that's going to help to hold everyone accountable and strengthen numbers. I think that's what's done it, is all the support that we've had. People know we mean business, and I'll tell you what. Now there are some tough ones in our Facebook group. Some tough ones. I wouldn't want to cross a few of them. No way. It's just, but to see people that want to stand up for what's right, not because they're going to get something out of it. It doesn't even, it's not their family. And a lot of people, it's not their town or their state, but they care. And that's just amazing to see that so many people care.
Yeah, and too, I think there have been so many people that have been on the victim side of just in some way, shape, or form, and that it seems like I know you've probably heard it, you don't kick a dog when they're down, but so many people in this area feel like they've been kicked while they were down just repeatedly. And, social media has changed. The way that we get our information has changed. Kind of what I was telling you before we started the show tonight. The way this platform for our show is helping people come forward that couldn't speak out before. And a lot of people still want to remain anonymous. We still don't see a lot of people willing to come out on camera or come out publicly with their name. And this show gives people the opportunity to come forward and not reveal their identity. So we're starting to get some voices, some of those forgotten voices of Appalachia are starting to come to the forefront. And so that's what I'm really excited to see is justice. Finally, justice for the forgotten people, justice for the voiceless.
So many people have reached out to me since this all started and told me of their terrible tragedies and how they and their families have been mistreated through it all. And it's heartbreaking. And I don't know how these people have survived, because these past 2 years have just about killed me. It has been really difficult, but I knew a lot, and I had faith and confidence that everything was going to work out, but it still was just so difficult. And these people who haven't gotten any feedback or any news, or their family member isn't even accounted for, missing for years and years. I don't know how anybody stands it. I don't.
Trauma is very stressful, and people get PTSD from trauma.
Mm-hmm.
And so thank you so much, Miss Debbie, Dr. Debbie, I'm sorry, for your courage and your honesty tonight. This case is far from over. Trial is coming, evidence is pending, and the family is keeping the pressure on. Is there anything else that we didn't, I mean, I know there's a whole lot we didn't talk about, but is there anything that you'd like to say that that you want people to know about this case?
I just appreciate everybody's support, and it just goes to show that if we stick together, we can make changes and we can get attention. And I'm blessed that I have had the support, all the support that I have had. And December 1st is supposedly when it's all going to take place. So just
December 1st.
Yeah, stay tuned.
Are they going to try them all three together, or are they going to sever their cases?
They're all three going to be tried together.
Okay. Have you heard yet? Are they going to allow it to be cameras in the courtroom or not?
I think that there was a judge's order that said that Mountaintop Media would serve as the ones to be in the courtroom, and then of course they share it with all the other outlets.
Good. I had I always put as many links as I can into the description of our shows, and I put a link to one of the court TV stories that they did on Amber's case. And there was another one. I wanted to ask you if you had seen this or not. I went digging through to try and find a good place to start, and I ran across this guy. It's called Brain Scratch, and he's got 2 videos that he has done. Oh, I've got the wrong one up there. Let me pull this down. He's done 2 videos on it. Here it is.
Yeah.
Have you seen this guy?
Yeah. I thought he did a pretty good job. Yeah.
He did a fantastic job. And anybody who is interested in following this case, these are the blue where it's highlighted in blue. Those are all the sources for every story, news story, every piece of information that has come out on Amber's case. This guy's got it listed. He's got 2 videos, and I put both of the links to his videos in the description. We would watch some of it, but I don't want to get caught with copyright. So we won't do that. But he's got 2 of them. This first one was, did 911 fail to save Amber Spradlin? And then the second one that he's got is 408 days later, arrests for Amber Spradlin. And on both of the videos, he's got all of the sources. So, and they're really long. Like, well, this one here, I think, is only like an hour. The first one might be a couple hours long, but he really did a great job on that case.
Yeah, I thought he did a good job. And I got to get a plug in for Mountaintop Media, Unsolved Appalachia. They did, if anyone hasn't seen their production of Justice for Amber, it's about an hour and a half long, but they did a top-notch job, and it really lets you know who Amber was and what she was all about.
Well, you told me that, and I went looking for it, and I couldn't find it. I found a couple of different ones. I didn't realize it was Mountaintop Media's though. So now that I know, I'll go try to find it, and I'll put the link to theirs in the description of this video too.
Okay.
And as we get closer, anytime, if you ever want to come back, Miss Debbie, you have a standing invitation on our show anytime. You're more than welcome.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
You're welcome. Thanks for being here.
All right. Have a good evening.
You too, honey. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. So that was really wonderful. We had Miss Debbie. This case has this is the Floyd County, like, you know how the sheriff and the judge case is kind of like the big one here in Letcher County. Amber's case has been huge in Floyd County. And I just want to throw this back up there again. Let me pull this off. Justice for Amber. This was one of the billboards that they put up. We had some new members. Dee Ness became a YouTube member. Heather Fulton became a YouTube member. CC Blooms, see you later. Dave, 2 of my favorite ladies on the same show. Hey, Debbie and Liz. Thanks to each of you for your passion and commitment. All right, yes. This case has really been heart-wrenching. I've been trying to follow this case. Well, now this fella here, the Lord and Arts, man, he does a really good job on these. The Mountaintop Media, I am not sure about the one that she was mentioning, the Unsolved in Appalachia. I'll try to find that, and I'll link it in to the description on here. And if we can watch it, we'll watch it. Hey, the sugar honey iced tea. Love it, love it, love it. How is everybody? Holly, I love your program, but clicked on this chat thing by mistake. I'm just a good listener. Keep up the amazing work. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, guys. Yes, Miss Hannah, Debbie has been fighting for Amber's justice for 2 years. Such a strong lady. Bless her heart. Bless her heart. Marnie, if you guys got you a Hillbilly Crime membership, make sure that you thank Miss Marnie. Thank you, Marnie. Thank you. Tammy, this story is from her hometown. Is there any motive? I don't think so. I don't think that they really know a whole lot. But let's kind of break down what she said, what Miss Debbie said. So they were all at the restaurant or the bar or whatever they were at, and they were drinking and talking and just, catching up, they ran into each other and they were just having a good time, right? Then they go back kind of whenever it closes down, the after party. People don't want to go home. And so they went back, and so the dentist was driving. He drives them all back to his place, and we don't really know what's happened. We know that they got rid of the evidence. We know that the red rum weapon was not found, and the cameras were missing. And so I think that's where they get the tampering with physical evidence part of it. And, you also got to think, look at it's kind of reminds me of the Brooks Houck, the Crystal Rogers case, because there were 3 that were charged in her case as well. Differently. They were all charged very differently. These 2 are being charged with like tampering with evidence, and I don't think that they've actually charged them with any kind of conspiracy or anything like that. With Crystal Rogers, they did. The father and son Lawson pair were charged as conspiracy. It wasn't like after the fact. They were charged with conspiring to unalive Crystal Rogers. So now those are differences in these cases, but the way that they're going to be trying them, Dr. Debbie said that they're going to be trying all 3 of these co-defendants together. I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not sure what all the details and stuff are when it comes to that kind of thing, court process. Now with the Lawsons, the dad was severed from the son Lawson and Brooks Houck. Now Houck and Lawson are both going to be tried together. I think their trial started this week or last week. So hopefully, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing that they try them together or separately. Does anybody know? She was young and innocent, and she just wanted to be accepted. She just wanted to be friends. She wanted to have friends. She sure didn't deserve what happened to her. You know, it doesn't really matter. I mean, think of what she said. She had only worked there a month prior to this incident happening. So it's not like she knew these people for her whole life and, you know, like she had some kind of history with them or had some kind of a rug history with them. No, you ain't got none of that in this case. You don't have any of that in this case. What it sounds more to me like, she was at the wrong place at the wrong time around the wrong evil person. But I would sure love to know what she did that caused, I mean, she didn't do anything, but why the violent outburst towards Amber? You've got men, you've got 4 men, you've got daddy dentist, the son, the friend, and then Roy. I should have asked her who Roy was, but it sounded like maybe it was Amber's boyfriend. Is that Amber's boyfriend, Roy? Does anybody know? But you got 4 men there, and she's the only female. Why would she be attacked? You know, like usually if you have some kind of like men fighting, like they get drinking and somebody gets upset with something somebody says or gets offended or whatever. I just don't know if I've ever seen a man go off on the only woman. I'm sure I've seen it. I've seen just about everything at some point in time. But for what? For what purpose? For what reason? Why would you obviously lose your stuff on a female? It doesn't make any sense. It just does not make any sense. But we won't go on and on about this. We'll go ahead and end this tonight, and hopefully we'll get Dr. Debbie back with us when we're closer to the time of trial, or anytime we have a big update in this case. But if any of y'all would like to go dig through the brain scratcher guy, or what is it called? Brain Scratch. Yep, that's the name of it, Brain Scratch. He's got some really great videos. And I put, I don't know if I put the Justice for Amber in there or not. I'll look and see. And if I didn't, I will also go and grab the Justice for Amber Facebook page link, and I'll throw that in there too of the description. But thank you to Dr. Debbie for being with us tonight. Thank you guys all for being here with us this evening. And thank you, Marnie, for the memberships. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Best holla ever. Okay, guys, we will see you all on the flip side tomorrow. Okay, y'all. Have a good night. Thank you, Jesus, for another day being able to come together in your name. I pray that you just touch each and every one of our hearts, Lord. Those of us that are overwhelmed, those of us who are stressed, who are traumatized, Lord, I just pray that you'll touch us. Touch each and every one of those broken places. Only you know where they're at, Lord. I pray that you forgive me for my sins and just go before me through all that I face every day. Until we meet again tomorrow, Lord, we give you all praise, honor, and glory in Jesus' name, amen. And just say an extra prayer tonight for Miss Amber's family. All right, y'all. Peace out, Girl Scout.